Welcome back to another segment of Buckingham Business Review. I'm your host, Bernie Wolford, and our video magazine is about the intersection of strategy, tactics, and people. And we are excited to have with us today for our second segment, Solange Warner, President and founder of Ashton International. In our first segment, we learned a little bit about Solange and her company, Ashton International. In this segment, we're going to drill down into some of the specifics of her experience and expertise. And Solange, we've all seen the world become smaller. I guess the cliche is the world is flat.
Yes.
So international commerce is here. It's growing at a rapid rate.
Absolutely.
But I can't help but think foreign companies coming into the States, they have to be making some of the same mistakes over and over again. Even though that they have other successful ventures to follow. In your experience, for a foreign company who can't ignore the size of the U.S. market, who just has to be here and do business, how do they get started? What are the key success factors, and what mistakes do you see them sort of predictably making over and over again?
Right. Well, let's start by the mistakes, just because that will take us to answering the other questions. Normally, an international company that comes here makes the mistake of thinking that this market is going to be approached the same way that they were able to succeed in their own markets.
Okay.
And I think that's a mistake that companies can make going inbound or outbound for trade. I will say that for them, not understanding that they do need to have assistance when penetrating an international market, it will be the main mistake they can really commit. For instance, I'm going to give you an example of the wine companies coming from Chile, for instance. Here you have a fabulous quality product, one of the best of the world. And it is difficult for them to penetrate this market based on the fact that when they come here, they expected to sell the same way that they are able to sell, for instance, in Chile. Mm-hmm. Here we have first of all, a competition, which is California wines, so they are excellent quality as well. But here, this is a different type of product, even though it's an excellent quality, but they are not able to really portray that image here locally in the United States because of the lack of marketing and the lack of contact. Mm-hmm. That goes along with a lack of budget as well.
Sure,
these are smaller wineries. It's not a California winery that they have all the marketing capabilities that they could have here. So they do need the assistance of a local representation, whether it's through consulting firms such as Ashton International, but also to have a local representation here that they're able to become familiar with distributors here locally. Mm-hmm. They are two large distributors here in Atlanta, and they do sell an average of 2,000 wines from different areas of the world, or local wines. Mm-hmm. So they really don't, at this point, they really don't have the capability to try and test a new wine unless they know that this is a wine that is going to sell for sure. So that's when you bring the marketing area of it, and a local distributor or a local representation from these wineries will be very helpful. So that's one of the mistakes that they could they are really having at this point. So how do we change this? The Ashton International is able to provide and study for them on where to go, and besides Atlanta, there are other areas that they are able to penetrate markets such as Miami, New York, LA. Those are the areas that normally international wines are able to sell better. So that's when it comes along the knowledge of the market that is very important for them. Another aspect of it is just to be able to have the marketing campaign that I don't think that many international companies really understand how important it is. So to promote themselves with organizations such as the World Chamber of Commerce, mm-hmm. Promote themselves with perhaps the media such as videos, as your company has now. There are many different ways and aspects of this business that they could change, and I think it will need knowledge for these companies to really be able to understand how they can turn around a result that right now is not what they're expecting. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's just educating these companies and how to penetrate American markets will be a good thing.
So I can have a great product, even a superior product, but it remains somewhat of a well-kept secret if I don't understand the role of marketing and promotion when I bring that into the States.
Absolutely.
Excellent learning.
Yes, and that goes the other way. Also, if you have a fabulous marketing campaign with a product that is not that good, and I think that we all view those here in the United States very often, you can sell as much as you want to as long as you have the proper marketing. That's right, that's right. And if you don't believe me, think about Kardashian, and all this different.
One of the current examples. Yes.
Exactly. So marketing today in the media that you place out there for your product is vital to succeed.
Well, Solange, once again, thank you for sharing your experience and expertise and knowledge with our audience. When we come back for our third segment, we're going to turn the table slightly and talk about the converse. That is a U.S. company who wants to do some business internationally in a foreign location. So this has been Buckingham Business Review. I'm your host, Bernie Wolford. Please join us again for an additional segment and more of Solange's knowledge and experience. Thank you.